You know, you've heard it before when people come up to you and say, you want the bad news first or the good news? And usually it's the bad news first so that we can have dessert later, right? The not so good news, let me start with that. We started the not so good news about maybe 13, 14 months ago when we lost our principal. And some of you are too new to know that, but her name is Julia. She was part of our church. And she said to me, Pastor, I have now my third child, and the third one was a girl, is a girl. First two are boys, and she felt the need to be there for her children, especially the youngest one. And also her husband was also showing some sense of like, hey, I miss you, you know. You've been away too long. And as a principal, you really work from morning to night. You're constantly thinking about the school. So I sat with her about 3 times and tried to convince her. I said, you know, we'll try to find you a babysitter. And she said, it's not about that, Pastor. It's about me being there for my kids. And this is a season I feel I need to do this. So I want to let you know, all the parents here who have loved Julia, because she was a great principal, I tried my best. But obviously my best wasn't good enough because she had a legitimate reason for having done what she did. Then it fell on Joy, who was the next person, and Joy didn't ask for this job. Really, she was just already up to her eyebrows with administrative work, and she's very good at that. Joy is a model student in her time. People in Taylor's College, where she studied, would borrow or steal her notes because her notes was better than the lecturer's notes. And she did so well. Her sister before her also did so well. They are top students in their time. And so when Joy, you know, does what she does best, you know, your students always will score well because she will make sure that academic excellence, you know, is the anthem of the day. But Joy didn't ask for it. Joy said, "Oh, Pastor, you know, what do I do?" I said, "Joy, just please go ahead and, you know, be the acting principal for a while." But you know, we struggle. I must be honest with you, we struggle because you're like putting someone like a fish out of water who didn't ask for the job of principal, but really, really good at other things. And I was really busy with church and with every other thing that we were doing. We even, well, just in case you didn't know, we are also a part of another family called Asian Youth Ambassadors, or AYA for short. And that AYA has been around for almost 30 years now. And we're known by the country, especially among the churches. We're known also with government. We are in the book of non-government organizations that was put out by the government. And so we're recognized as a youth organization for youth development. And we're quite busy in that area. We started a suicide prevention society. We're very big on that because my own sister took her life at the age of 20 going on 21. So I come from that kind of a broken family. And so I understand families that go through brokenness and young people that go through thoughts of suicide. So Dr. Jill, who is also here, who's also a parent in this school, she is heading up, Dr. Jill is heading up Lynette's Life Inspired Network Society that helps young people with suicide thoughts, and mental health care. So AYA is growing, X-Church is growing, and I was really, really quite tied up with that. But I was always having an ear on what was happening at Victory Academy. And following bad news is that with the departure of our principal went the departure of a few other teachers who felt they could only work with her. And then when the departure of some students, and then it continued downward trajectory. And towards the end of last year, we lost a few more teachers. And this was very alarming because not only were we losing some students and some teachers, I think we were losing morale. We were losing excitement. We were losing, you know, like, what's happening? And the parents here, you know, although they were still pretty much part of VA, they were also asking, just that maybe they didn't know where to ask, didn't know who to ask, because life just went on. You dropped off your children downstairs, and you pick them up upstairs. And it just went on, right? Probably you didn't get to meet any teacher. Probably the teachers were too busy because there were fewer of them now. And so they had to double up. We had 2 more hats, 3 more hats. Okay. Now, I started to pray about this and I said, Lord, what do you want me to do? Because these students are all very precious to you. And if at all, this is not the school that should carry on. Although I know the teachers here love the students very much, and the students love being here, I said, tell me what you want me to do. Because it was the Lord who told me to start the school in the first place, 9, 10 years ago. And we did. We did with 3 students and 4 teachers. The only school that had more teachers than they had students. But that's how we started. We started by faith. And God gave us the money and we grew. But you know, life sometimes takes a beating. All of us have been through that before. But the more important thing is what you do when you fall is, of course, to rise. And that's what exactly I felt the Lord telling me. Kenneth, this is, of course, a crisis. This is, of course, a challenge. But nothing is impossible for me. I said, Lord, should I shut the school down? He says, no, don't, because it's my school. So you know, when you get that kind of a confidence from the Lord, from God, you just have to obey. And so I said, Lord, without you, I can't do it. He says, what do you want me to do? And the first thing I want to be very honest, I think transparency is the best thing to have when you are rebuilding something. Because we're going to rebuild together. And I need your help as much as you need mine. But together, I think we can see the impossible come to pass, especially when it's together with God. And so I know some parents also were a little bit down, and some parents were talking to each other because they didn't know who else to talk to. And sometimes you might not get the right picture. So today, it's very important for me to address you in all humility and also in all honesty. I felt the Lord saying to me, don't shut this school. It's my school and I will turn it around. And I felt the first thing to do was to actually approach our former principal. And I did. And I went to Julia and said, Julia, I'm going to be a bit more involved in the school. That's what the Lord's leading to me. And so would you come back? She said, oh, thank you for asking me, Pastor. Let me pray about it. So she prayed 10 days and she came back. Obviously, she's not here, right? So you know what happened. She said, Pastor, with a heavy heart, because she also loves the school. You know, when you are part of the school, when it was only 3 students, you know, there's a real love and connection. And she said, but Pastor, it's still the same. My daughter is still young and my family still needs me. And my husband needs me. So I said, Julia, I've got to respect your decision. I turned back to God and said, God, how? He says, you do something. And I'm like, I'm not a principal. He says, no, you've been involved in young people's lives for 30 years. And you know how young people are, you know what they think, you know how they tick. You know how to reach them, you know how to build them. Yes, you might not be the academician, but it's not just all about academics, although we are very big on it in this school. We are also about attitude. And we want to build young people with great attitudes, because we know that employers these days don't just look at scores on paper. They look at, attitude, they look at confidence, they look at all these other things that money cannot buy, but we can build in school. Now, let me give you the good news. Aren't you glad that the not so good news is? The not good news, not everybody has a not so good news in our lives, for sure. The more important thing is, what do we do about this? The first thing that happened was, of course, I said, yes, God, I will go into this and I will focus in this and on this for the next 1 year at least, to see how God turns things around for the school. And already we are seeing good signs, very, very good signs. So let me just announce to you, or reveal to you, that the first thing that happened was a collaboration between AYA and VA. So AYA has about 31 staff, and I've mobilized all 31 staff to concentrate on VA. And so now you will see some new faces there. Actually, they've always been on this side of the river. And on the other side was VA, and sometimes we visit them, sometimes we say hello, we bump into each other during meal times. But this year, it's a concerted effort, commitment that AYA has to build this school together. So in AYA, we have got all kinds of expertise. We've got people doing media, doing graphic design. We've got people doing admin. We've got people doing LINETS, which is the suicide prevention and mental health care. We've got TIMI, which is an organization we started for special needs children, because we are also very big on special needs children. But that's always all been AYA. Now we want to bring AYA's strengths into VA so that we can immediately, even overnight, strengthen Victory Academy. AYA has got a lot of other things. We've got community work. We take young people out to help other young people who are less fortunate, teaching them tuition out there. So can you imagine in the future, the Bahasa class will not just be your normal Bahasa class. We will take some of these students out to the poor areas around here, which we've already established relationship with them for the last 15, 20 years already. So your children will be safe, don't worry. Okay? We have the backing of even of the people there. There are Malays there, there are Indians there, there are different cultures, but they all know us. They say, oh, these are the good people coming in to help our children. And you should watch one of our AY videos to say thank you for coming into this poor area to teach our children English. I never dreamt that my child would be able to speak such good English. And so, can you imagine your children going in? A few things they will catch. They'll catch a heart for the poor. They'll catch a heart to teach. And when they teach others, they themselves will be learning. And how about this? They'll be having to speak Malay. Yeah. Now it's like, aku ta tau, but when they go and mix with other children, they'll be like, they will get more fluent because you're going to have to use it to help others. We might bring them into some new village, Chinese new village, and that's where they can learn Mandarin. Elder Shirley is at the back there. She's our Mandarin translator, and she's involved now, also with the school. And we are thinking up how we can teach Mandarin in a more fun way. And one of the fun ways is to actually sing karaoke together. Yeah. We're going to actually sing karaoke with your children. Please, when your children come back and say, I spend 2 hours singing karaoke, please don't ask for a discount. It's part and parcel of creative learning. Yeah. Hey, some of us learn languages by watching movies. The Chow In Fat days, Some of you say, that's how I learn my Cantonese. So we're going to be fun as well. But we've got to make sure we will never compromise on the standard of teaching and learning. Are you okay with that? This is very important. So AYA-VA collaboration, key new development. All right? Suddenly, VA has got the help of 31 more staff that VA doesn't have to pay for. That's good news. Now, let me give you 16 sweet points. I call it Sweet 16. Of why and what has been happening that I really believe will turn this school around and make it the best school that we have ever dreamt. Number one, Sweet 16, number one, is that we have parents in this school that really believe. Without you believing, we'd have nothing. The day that I was actually thinking about maybe I should give up this school, and that was about 3 months ago, I went into a lift and there was a lady, very precious Indian lady, who smiled at me. And I said, okay, if you smile at me, means probably you know me. So I smiled back. And I got to know that this lady, who I don't really know, said to me that my children, she called me pastor, my children have been here since prep and year one. And while the school was on the downward, you got parents who still believe in us. Parents, I thank you for that. Because without your faith and belief in us, there's just no way. We don't even have to continue. Let's just all go home. But without the parents, we really have nothing. Parents, thank you for believing. And my prayer is, before we close today, that you will continue to believe. Because I believe. And I've seen God turn things around many times. The impossible becomes possible. And please, continue to believe. And let's do this together. Number two, there were teachers in the midst of all these problems who chose to stay I had a teachers retreat. I actually now no longer just call them teachers, I call them overcomers. Because truly they are really overcomers. And we had about, I think, 20 of them there. Some of them were AYA staff. Towards the end, all the teachers stood up and said, "We're in this with you, Pastor. We're going to do this together and turn this around with God's help and grace." It was a really wonderful retreat I had with them, because when you see people believing again, and I remember the first time Jürgen Klopp was interviewed, they asked him, "How is it going to work?" He says, "Firstly, I've got to turn the doubters into believers." Teachers who believe. And I asked some of them, I said, "How long have you been here, Linda?" Teacher Linda, 7 years. So long. And then, "How long have you been here, Janet?" Teacher Janet, 7 years. Long. What keeps you here? I mean, we're not like paying the highest salaries, no? All right, and having the biggest bonuses. Then I turned to another one, Teacher Laura, 8.5 years. I mean, these are good teachers, who other schools will grab at a snap of a finger. They believe. Teachers, I know you're here. Thank you. Thank you for believing. Thank you for loving not just the school, but the students. And I know you love the students. And that's what parents want to know, right? I'm sending my kids to a school that loves my children as much as I do. And of course, I need to mention again, Joy, I mentioned your name before you came in. She's been the longest, all right? And Jack, Pastor Jack, yeah. Thank you so much for believing in our school, in our students. Someone just told me the other day, "You know why, Pastor, I sent my child to Victory Academy?" And he was one of the first ones to send in the early days. He said, "Because none of your teachers have joined Victory Academy because of the pay. They all joined because of passion." He says, "How can you fail when teachers are moving and teaching with passion?" He said, "I knew already this school was going to be great because every teacher joined this school for passion's sake." And I'm like, wow. So there were some teachers who left, as I told you, and you know. And so I prayed to God. I said, "God, you know what a good sign of hope will be? That some of these good teachers come back." Because teachers who left, very hard to come back, right? Because they've seen it all. And if they don't believe that there is hope, they won't come back. For sure. Even if you offer them more money. And sure enough, 2 of them came back. 2 of them came back. One of them is already here with us. Her name is Lithi. And Lithi is a great science teacher. And I hear parents love her. And I hear that students love her because she's always smiling. Even when she's sad. She's a bundle of encouragement. The other one is a teacher called John He. And when I invited John He just to come and say hi to the students last week, they all went crazy. Because he's one of the favorites I hear. Yeah. And again, because he loves the students. He's a good English teacher, and I think maybe he teaches also, what else? PE, sports. So it's a good sign when teachers come back. Now if you're asking me, "Pastor, how about bringing all of them back?" Slowly. There are composite classes, ladies and gentlemen, that you may have heard of. And we have, okay, you look at the class here. If I didn't tell you there was composite classes, you just think it's a normal class, just by looking at the photo. All right? Because we have 2 classrooms with not that many students, and we put them together. And though they might be levels that are very close to each other, our teachers have gone through a planning to make sure that no child and their education and the standard of education will be compromised. This school, again, is very, very big on making sure that our students do very, very well. So our committed teachers are there. They have planned, as I said, to do their best for these composite classes. Now, to be honest with you, because teachers had left, students had left, can I be honest with you? Of course, the funding also went down. And because the funding went down, it's of course difficult to manage some areas. But our teachers are so good that they came up with the idea, and this is not a new idea. If you Google it, composite classes, you will find that there's a lot of information online that tells you the good of composite classes, the pros of composite classes, of how they can merge together, get to know each other, and teachers get to spend more time with a group that's similar to each other in their studies. Now, good news is, when we started to do all these new things in December, we had 3 more new students join just in December. And then our marketing team, facilitated by Juliana, tells me that every week in January, she had to meet new parents who wants to find out about our school. So I think parents are hearing that something new, something fresh, something exciting is happening in VA. So can you imagine, 12 more new students, 20 more new students, 50 more new students. It is in our vision and our hope that we will return to norm sooner than later. But for now, the composite classes are working, not just to help the school survive, but to serve the needs of our students without compromising on academic excellence. And we have a good track record, some good track record here: academic excellence, IGCSE results, A's being scored by our students. This student here, 9 A's, congratulations to our year 11s. Yeah, and a lot of the teachers who have contributed to this are still here. And then, of course, we have teachers coming back. And in the future, other teachers the Lord will bring to us. This is 2022. Outstanding results, 74% A star, that one, right? A star, 91%, A star or A, 100% A star. IGCSE 2023, congratulations to our year 11 graduates. It's just last year. 100% obtained A star A for physics. 86% obtained A star A for chemistry, biology. 80% obtained A star A for ICT, mathematics, additional mathematics. Can I give you a commitment? We'll never compromise on the students' academic excellence. I know that you send them here to give them a good education. Yeah. But I also want to remind us that education is not just about academics. And our tagline here is, the heart of education is the education of the heart. I tell a lot of parents who tell me that, as long as my children get 10 A's, they're fine. I sometimes remind them that 10 A's won't help them with their marriage. And one day when their marriage is in a tough place, it is the things that they learn beyond just maths, beyond just science. We are wanting our students to last the lifetime and to thrive. A plus or A star in English doesn't mean that you'll be able to run a company of 1,000 staff. Doesn't mean that you do well with your family. Doesn't mean that you do well with life. So we are a holistic school, and we want to make sure that our student gets the best. We are committed to this as well. So I thought I'll show you that so that you know that we are going to continue to do that, parents. That's uncompromisable, non-negotiable. Let's move on. Number 5, new management. So I started a new management. It's made up mostly by parents. Yeah, parents really who happen to be staff. Okay? So looks like our parents are fighting back. They're fighting back means, this is my school, my children are here, I'm not going to let this school go down the drain, and I'm going to fight back. And these have children in our school who have probably at least a few more years, 6 to 7 more years maybe, some lesser, but thank you. And of course, others in our management, of course, can I have Elder Terrence stand up, and those of you who are others in our management team. Yeah. Elder Terrence, let me just make mention very quickly about him. He was part of 2 successful schools before he retired. And when he was part of those schools, I don't want to mention the name of the school, because once I mention, you know already, and they're doing very, very well. But when he was with them in management, they were only 10 students, 20 students, and now there are 2,000 students, 3,000 students, okay? He retired early, okay? And when I say early, not that early, it's not about early, okay? Early enough. At 60, he retired. And he just said to me, Pastor, now I can help VA. With all the experience I have, all the knowledge I have of turning schools around before, I want to help. Yeah. So God is giving us quality people who know what they're talking about. We meet almost once every 2 weeks. because every week I meet with the new principal's office. I've broken the duties up to 3. One is called student affairs. So in my principal's office and in my management office, there's one group that just looks at student affairs, okay? How are they doing academically? How are they doing spiritually? How are they doing, how are they doing? And to make sure that there's no compromise there. Then we started something called teacher affairs, because we want to make sure that our teachers are also well covered and invested into, because happy teachers, happy students, I guess, right? So student affairs, teacher affairs, and parent affairs. And we want to make sure that our parents are also well taken care of. So that's why we started the Parents Lounge. And the Parents Lounge is not just for you to come and have coffee and tea and water and ping pong on us. It's also to make sure that at least 2, if not 3, of the management is found daily at the Parents Lounge so that you can talk to us. You don't have to say, oh, I couldn't meet anybody, I don't know who to talk to. All right, so we try to put at least 2, if not 3 for the management, key personnel who will be there, so that if you have something, even if it's something good, please tell us. If it's something not so good, please step up and tell one of our management people, and they will take it up. Almost immediately, we will know it already within the day or within the week, and we will address it, okay? If we can't do it yet, something that you request, we will tell you why and when. If we can, you can be rest assured that we will take you as our partner, and you want to build this school together with us also, so your views are also important. Not everything we can implement overnight, but we will assure you that we will take your partnership very seriously in building this school. Can I have a look at the teachers' retreat? Do we have the teachers' retreat photo? I think it's the 3rd to 4th of January, just recently. All our teachers were there, and some management and some people from AYA. Elder Rose is here. She is part of AYA, and there is an organization that we started called Mordecai Coaching. So she's a professional coach that does coaching for companies. So Elder Rose, you can stand. So she's been given a task to train our teachers. Just 1-2 years, big companies calling us for training. We've done with Berjaya, we've done with Taylor's. So people are calling us now to do leadership training and work training for their staff and for their leaders. Top directors engaged Rose and our Mordecai team to go out. Then I thought to myself, hey, why can't we do something for our teachers? Don't just help all these corporate companies, but let's help VA. I think on a weekly basis, if not once every 2 weeks, we're going to have training for teachers to equip them, make them better at what they do. Professor Balaji, who sits at the back there, he's also a parent. He is quite a key person in the University of Cyberjaya, and he has offered to even have their experts come and give training to our teachers. I said yes to him, and the owner of University of Cyberjaya has also given him the green light to send people. Then Dr. Goh Chi Leong, who is the CEO of HELP now, the whole of HELP is under him now, HELP School, HELP University. He called me that day and he says, Pastor Kenneth, how VA? I said, it's good. Chi Leong is my friend, and he came to give advice also to the school. He said to me, Pastor Kenneth, is there anything I can do for you? Can I send our experts who teach teachers how to teach better? Can I do something for you? So Elder Rose has contacted Dr. Goh Chi Leong, and I saw the email just recently, yesterday, and Chi Leong has already given you a name. So they will start sending their experts. And so we love our teachers here very much. I know that they already got so much work to do, mark papers, prepare exams, but we say, okay, wherever we can, we want to invest into them as well. We have a new HR team. Alessandra has been leading also the HR, and together with Adeline on AYA side. And so the HR team are these. Now when you see my name, because I'm kind of like everywhere, now I just want to make sure that I'm giving them all the guidance that the Lord has put on my heart to make sure that it all runs according to vision. We want to run according to vision. Now, when my time is done, I'll be the first one to come out of these groups, because I don't need another group, if you know my schedule. New marketing department, there's a new marketing department, and these are the names. Juliana Jong, Pastor Matthew Chang, Pastor Jack Ling, Elder Terrence Atkinson. So we're going to be big on marketing and try to bring in more students so that everyone benefits. Now, let me get into more interesting things, parents. Creative arts is very, very key. I think it's good for young people to, be energetic, learn how to act, learn how to dance, learn how to move, learn how to be a tree. Because sometimes, maybe the 6-year-old is not ready to do the full acting yet, so we make him a tree, make her a rock that can move. AYA came in to do all these movements and mobility. Secondary school also, we had it. Our elder Shirley that day got a chance to lead in dance because she loves to dance. Just that she can't dance as my PA. So she danced as so all the secondary students were there and they learned the movements, learned to dance. It was fun, really, really fun. I could see them smiling, laughing, and having a good time. That's Zoe. Zoe is also from AYA, but she herself is very big on performing arts. So ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a performing arts day, a production day, a big production on the 16th of August. So please mark your calendar. Even if you bought your Air Asia tickets already, please burn it. Because I'm sure it was just RM1, right? I'm kidding. Okay. 16th of August. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be at DVCC. You're going to turn the whole place around. Invite your friends, your neighbors, your grandmother, your grandfathers. Let them come and let them watch. Okay, there'll be costumes and there'll be all that. So creative arts, performing arts is going to happen. Then we started clubs. And we started 7 clubs. 3 are sports related and the other 4 are not sports related. One of it is chess club, music club, debate club, right? I walked to that club and said, hey, welcome to the argument club, where people who are good at arguments, always. Okay, so then there is compassion. Compassion club is where we bring them out to meet the poorest students out there and let them catch a heart for the less fortunate. Hopefully when they see them there without the normal luxuries, they will come back and be more appreciative of what you gave them. You know what I'm trying to say? Where they enter a place and there's no fan, and then they got aircon. Hopefully, maybe your kids will go back more appreciative, less complaining. That's what we want to do for them. On that day, just last Wednesday, we already had the voting and nomination. So now we have got presidents. And maybe I should tell you this before I forget. So we are also very aware that year 11 students will probably need to be concentrating on their exams. But they cannot also miss out on the fun, right? So we will probably, somewhere in June, July, if they are president now, maybe they pass on the presidency to someone in year 10. So we are very aware of that also. That let's not be playing all the way until exam time. No. We're going to be big on leadership development and character building. So we're going to introduce prefectorial system and try to build leadership among our young people. And so even prefects, there will be head of school female, head of school male, yeah? But if they are year 11, they shouldn't continue to have these responsibilities after July. So we are very clear. And even, in fact, it was Terence who said, Pastor, from the schools I was at, we cannot burden year 11 students like that. So good. So we got good advice. My management team, very smart. Okay, they're very good at this. So I said, yeah, okay, let's make sure that even though we just start, there's a reason why we're saying year 11, let's concentrate now. Okay, you had enough play already, let's concentrate. And I think they'll be fine. All right, and if they need more help with maths, they need more help with science, we will help them. We will want to make sure our year 11 continue to do well. And then year 10 will do it, and then they will also have to let go. And after a while, it'll be a culture. But this is very new lah. This is very new, okay? Clubs is only for secondary now, for now. And then later on, we'll roll clubs out for primary. So you can see that we are doing it step by step. Cannot roll out everything because it will also be overwhelming for the teachers, overwhelming for the students. Also, so we say, hey, let's roll it out throughout the whole year. Is that okay? So this is, we have ping pong club. Pickleball is new. It's the fastest growing sport in America. So if you have played tennis before, you can be good in this. And when we train our young people, we most probably will take them out for competition. That's why I think they'll build confidence and they'll also learn to lose well. And when they win, it's also going to be good. All right? Basketball, Pastor Matt, okay? We've chosen him because he's the tallest among us. All right, let's move on. Chapel. Chapel is a big thing for us. We want to make sure that their spirit is being fed, their emotions are being ministered to. And so we have actually expanded our chapel time. We are not rushing one period now. It's probably about 1.5 periods, almost 2 periods. And we want to make sure that truth gets into them, because only truth can set you free. And the Word of God. And so we get, I'm not sure that whether Daniel Chong is here, but Daniel Chong is our teens pastor. He works on this side of the river with AYA and Acts. But we said, hey, you now can be chaplain for VA, because he's full-time, so he can concentrate and work together with Pastor Jack and teacher Laura to make sure that our chapel is amazing, almost like going for a youth meeting, rocking and yet, on the rock. Assembly, I won't talk too much about it, but we are big on our assembly, and I've been to at least 2 already now, and wow, they stand up and do the Rukun Negara. Now we are very intentional, even with our other languages. We don't want just them to go away with just English. So the other day, even their group names was in Malay. Yeah. So assembly time was, fun. Then we sing Negaraku. We want to make sure that they have a nationalistic attitude that loves our country. We've got sports. We recognize there are students, your children, who might not always be as academic as you wish. But we don't want to just give A's to student who is good at academics. We want to tell the student that, you can be A in life, A in attitude, A in discipline, A in confidence. Some of you parents say, my child, I'm actually quite happy even if my child come back with 8 B's. Some of you are very honest with me, Pastor, my child, I already know already, he's not A student. And even if you can help him get 8 B's, I'm very happy, because I see my son or my daughter as a sports person. And maybe they can excel in sports, and still get A there. So we are also very clear in our minds that not every student is the same, and they shouldn't be compared with one another. We should celebrate their strengths. We open ReVeAl store, and we're going to open Froth. Froth, is our coffee place by the corner of DVCC. It's usually not open in the day because Elder Kenya, who runs Froth, is busy with other things. Now, we're going to start opening our businesses for students to run. And we're going to start a new entrepreneurship club to teach young people how to do business, how to, what is profit, what is loss, how to do a sale. So the first person to join this ReVeAl shop is Odelia, who is Joy's daughter. Why she's there? Because she's there very early in the morning. She's there with her mother before 7 a.m. And then we will open Froth. That's Elder Kenya's commitment. Froth will be open for coffee in the morning. And even if it's not in the morning, it'll be coffee when you come and pick your children up. It'll be the high-class kind of coffee. So your children will actually have a chance to learn to be a barista. And so we'll teach them, and then some of them will learn how to bake cookies. Some of them will learn how to bake cakes. And as they're learning how to do some of these skills, they will sell it at Froth. And some of the profits they will take back, so they will learn how to earn. And when they earn, they would like to, they would like to dabble in it a little bit more, and we'll teach them to be responsible when they earn. That can be an after-school program. Elder Kenya tells me that when your students actually, not all of them will go to Australia or to the UK to further their studies, but when they do go, if they do go, they will get jobs very quickly, because in Australia especially, there's so many cafes that when a person comes in having known how to operate a machine, they get the job quite immediately. So we are also looking at things like that. And one of my final things to say is that our school premises will be open from 7 a.m. Onwards. So I know that there are parents who are rushing to work, and every 5 minutes counts. I know that. Extra 5 minutes and the jam gets longer. Extra 10 minutes, you might as well, not go to work. So now we're going to open 45 minutes earlier. You're very welcome. But that means that we have to come earlier. But it's okay. We sacrifice for you because you sacrifice for us. All right? And then we'll open up, and so they will come up. Please bring them up. It's still dark. Don't let them go walk themselves unless they're older. Okay? Bring them up. But if you are okay with them coming up early, please send them up. The doors will be open, they can relax, and they can fellowship, and they can, we might even open up the ping pong table for them, stuff like that. But already is happening. Doors are open, and kids are coming early. These are my sweet 16 points to you, and there's many more to come, but I won't bore you with the other details. In the pipeline, just very quickly, is of course our prefectorial. We want to make sure that our student leadership programs are great in the school. We also want to start an alumni, because we don't have one. But we have already graduated 7 batches, at least. And they're doing well. One of them I know, who was a scholarship student, had a scholarship offered to her also from the university. But finally, she decided to be working for SIA. When she graduated from here, she had about 2 offers for scholarship in other universities. Our students are doing well, but I think it's good to keep in touch with them. Even bring them back, and have alumni stuff with them. So we want to have a strong alumni, all right? And finally, a comprehensive leadership development and character building program. Character building. I cannot overemphasize character building. It's so important, so key. And I've also asked Elder Rose to help look into that. And we are now formulating what leadership development looks like, and all the points of character building. And my wife is also very passionate about it. And let's build a strong team for leadership development and character building. I started the Sweet 16, good if not great news with parents, and I'll end it now with the same. I say thank you to you as point number 1, but point number last, not very good English, huh? Point number last, I would like to invite all of you to join me and my team in rebuilding this school. I'm very honest with you, and I hope that you appreciated the honesty about, I knew where we were. But today we're not there. We have taken steps forward. Yeah. We may have taken a strong hit, like the pandemic, in the past few years, that caused us to go down for the count. Anyone weaker would have given up, but not us. We're fighting back for the sake of our students and for the glory of God. We may have been down, but we're not out. We tell our students not to give up so easily, don't we? We must be the first to show it. Don't give up so easily. Fight for what you believe in. One day they have to fight for their marriages. And I pray they will learn it here. I saw it in school, that the school, even though it was going down, they never gave up on us. They fought back and won. One day, maybe they will use that same lesson for their own lives. Fight for what you believe in. Now is our chance to not just talk, but walk the talk. We tell everyone that the heart of education is the education of the heart. Now is the time to let our hearts shine and to show who we really are and what we're truly made of. I like the Rocky movies because I hear it again and again that Rocky fought with heart. He fought bigger people, stronger people, but he always got up. And we will cry sometimes when we watch Rocky movies because of that part, that he gets up again and again. And people around him would say, Rocky doesn't just fight with fists, he fights with heart. And may our school fight with heart. The education is about the heart. Let's give our students the heart. Amen? Let's show the world who we are really made of and what we are really made of. True champions fight with their hearts. And that's what we want our students to catch and to inherit. Parents, let's do this together. The teachers are ready. The management is ready. I'm ready. God is ready, obviously. And I know that you are too. That's why you're here. Let's do this together. The best days are ahead of us. Can I just declare it? And if not, then at least we go down fighting and giving our best. Let our children learn from us. Never giving up without a fight. It's the best we can do. That's all right. The best we can do. We'll give our best. And that's my assurance to all of you as I close. My assurance to all of you, including the teachers, that our children, your children, our children, will only get the best from us, no matter what. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. God bless you.